Hey guys, it's Elisa, and today I'm going to have my April wrap up. I know I'm super late. I know right now today is like a May 7th, but I had family here and work stuff, and I do apologize. I feel like I've abandoned the channel, and I have not. I have posted a couple book hauls, but that's it, and I'm sorry. But I did have a huge reading month. I don't know why. I was just super ecstatic, and I couldn't. I don't know what it was about the new adult genre. Like, I just couldn't let it go. Like, I know I had surpassed so much more than the 5 books that I told you guys I was going to go ahead and read. I read 17 books in the month of April. I am, oh my god, I'm so happy with myself. I like exceeded the 5 by like a lot. And it's like my goal for this year was only to read like 40 something books, 48 books, and I'm already like at 44, I think. So I haven't decided if I want to go ahead and increase my Goodreads reading challenge. What do you guys think? Should I? Should I not? I'm not too sure. I thought with my new job that I wasn't going to have a lot of time to read, but apparently I did. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I haven't decided yet. But let me go ahead and get into my April wrap up. The first book that I went ahead and finished in the month of April was Lover Reborn by J.R. Ward. This is book 10 in the Black Dagger Brotherhood. I only read this book to kind of remind me what happened, where everybody was at the end of this book. It was, of course, I give it a 5 out of 5 stars just because I love the Black Dagger Brotherhood and I love all the point of views in this story. The next book that I went ahead and read was Lover at Last by J.R. Ward, and I gave it a 5 out of 5 just because it was good. It was super good. It was super amazing. I love what she did with Q and B. If you guys have read the story, you guys know who I'm talking about, which are the main characters in this one. I do like the new people that came out in this story. I'm interested in seeing how it is going to progress. I liked the happy ever after of the story. It was real, and I can't wait to see what happens with Layla. And I don't want to give too much away just because this is book 11. The next book that I read was Easy by Tamara Weber. I adored this book. Like, once I got into it, I could not put it down. I enjoyed how they got together, and I don't want to give too much away. It captivated me. I really enjoyed it. I did give it a 5 out of 5 stars. I hope you guys read it if you haven't already. The next book that I went ahead and read was Beautiful Disaster by Jamie McGuire, and I was kicking myself the whole time I was reading this book because I was like, why did you wait so long? I loved Pigeon and Travis's story so much. Like, I liked, I don't even know, like everything. Like, I loved their relationship. I loved the interaction. I love how they were vulnerable. I love the bad boy. I love it so much. I did give it a 5 out of 5 stars. The next book that I went ahead and read this month was Walking Disaster by Jamie McGuire. And I read them back to back. I know it is the same story, just in Travis's perspective, which if I literally had to pick between Beautiful Disaster and Walking Disaster, I would go with Walking Disaster just because I love the perspective of the bad boy. Like, I love to hear their inner thoughts and their inner struggles and their inner woman when they become like romantic and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed it. I love the epilogue in this story. I know I've said that in a past video. I did give it a 5 out of 5 stars. Okay, the next book that I went ahead and read was If You Stay by Courtney Cole. This is the first book in the Beautifully Broken series. It is new adult. So in this story, it follows Pax and Mila. It was kind of slow for me of them. It was kind of slow, and then they kind of get together, and then they're okay, and then like everything blows up. Like, the reason I was only gonna give it like 3 stars, maybe 2.5 to be honest with you guys, just because I was like, oh my god. But the last 8 chapters made up for it. Like, the last 8 chapters made the book for me. That is why I gave it a 3.5. And also because it just took that long, the last 8 chapters, for like it to be so energized for me, I guess, is the best way that I can go ahead and explain it. I will read the second book that will be coming out. I don't know the name of it, but I do want to see what happens. This one, the second book will actually be Mila's sister's perspective, like it'll follow her story. So it was good. I liked it enough that I would pick up the second book. So the next book that I went ahead and read was Hopeless by Colleen Hoover. And this story follows Sky and Holder, or Dean Holder, but to the story we call him Holder. It was an amazing book. It was captivating. It was a tearjerker. If you guys are gonna read this book, make sure you have a box of Kleenex or two. It was just that good. Like, it had so many twists and turns. I thought I had it figured out, and then here's another twist, and I enjoyed it so much. Like, I was telling my best friend, read this book, like, you should read this book. Honestly, I don't think she's read it yet, but she'll get to it. I know her. But myself, I thoroughly enjoyed Hopeless. Like, I kicking myself, it's another book that I'm kicking myself for waiting so long to go ahead and read it. Okay, so the next book that I went ahead and read was Wallbanger by Alice Clayton. And this book follows Caroline and Simon Parker. And basically, Caroline is a interior designer, and Simon is like this traveling photographer, like famous, I don't know, famous, but very popular photographer. And he has the tendency to have his escapades loudly against a wall, which is the wall that shares that he they basically their wall from their bedrooms share or whatever. So the first time they meet is hilarious. Or not meet, the first time she hears them, I guess. Her introduction to him is hilarious. For me, Wallbanger was like sarcastically witty and wickedly romantic, and I could not put it down. It was just a page turner for me. I could not stop laughing, and I could not stop like swooning over some of the things Simon did. So I did really, really enjoy this book. I did give it a 5 out of 5 stars. I hope you guys read it. And thank you, Yvette, to introducing me to Wellbanger. So the next books that I went ahead and read are by Colleen Hoover. After I read Hopeless, I was so in love with her writing. I wanted to go ahead and read something else that she had written, so I went ahead and read Slammed, which follows Lakin, I think I'm saying that right, Lincoln and Will. And the little twist that it had, I loved it. I'm not really big into poetry at all. Like, there's some that I'll read and I'll understand it, but it's not something that I outright look for to read. And I remember watching like Death Poetry Jam like on HBO like a couple years years ago, and I remember the enthusiasm of the way that they would project these poems and everything. I used to love that. So when this book incorporated that into it, like that type of slam poetry, I really enjoyed it. I loved a lot of the poetry that was written in there. I liked how they had to overcome these obstacles. I liked it a lot. I liked the little brothers too. I loved Kel and Calder. I think I'm saying that right. Really enjoyed it. I did go ahead and give it a 5 out of 5 stars. As you guys can notice, there's a theme going on with most of the new adult that I read. So yeah. The next book that I went ahead and read after that, of course, was Point of Retreat. And this one was a continuation of Slammed. It evolved more. You saw more of them, of Will and Lake being together and how to survive, not survive, but how to be a couple basically. Like it was such a whirlwind kind of relationship that they now had to learn how to be a couple. And I really love that. And then it was like a little sad with some of the things that had happened and the little twist of this one as well on there. I don't want to give too much away if nobody's read it yet, but it was really, really good. I did enjoy it. I did go ahead and give it a 5 out of 5 stars as well. So I took like a little break off of new adult just because I had promised my best friend that I would also read this book. She had already told me to read Wallbanger, but she had also told me to read Flawed by Kate Evelyn. But yeah, this book follows Sarah O'Brien and her brother James. They live in a very broken home. Their father is a retired boxer who kind of blames them for his retirement, like his early retirement. So there's a lot of abuse in this book. There's a little bit of directing the wrong feelings, if you guys know what I mean. Throughout their lives, like since they're little, like Sarah and James have only basically had each other. Like James, yes, has other friends. There's one friend in particular, Sam Donovan, who Sarah has always had a crush on. That does become kind of her love interest, but at the same time, as much as their father was a little unstable as the years progress, like James kind of becomes a little unstable as well. So he kind of starts having feelings for his sister in the wrong way. It was an emotional book. I did tear up a bit. I was surprised by the ending. I do thank the author for having alternate endings, even though the ending that I got from the book wasn't what I wanted, but it was real. And I congratulate her for that. Like it was a real ending. Like she could have fluffed it up or something like that, but she didn't. And I truly love the book for what it was. I did give it 5 out of 5 stars. It was emotional. It was heart-wrenching. There was times where I just had to put the book down for just a little bit, but then I couldn't step away from it just because I wanted to know what was going to happen next. So, yeah, good book. The next book that I read was A Terrible Love by Marta Eros. This was a new adult book. This followed Jesse McKay, something like that, and Devin Castiel. And this book was like heart pounding, panty dropping, suspenseful read. I did not expect everything that happened to happen in this book. From the title, I honestly did not. I thought the story was going to be totally different, like kind of like a abusive kind of relationship. I don't know why. I just thought it was, but it wasn't. It was nothing like that at all. I love how Jesse was a little broken. Was a little broken and but still trying to be a fighter and surviving it all. And I don't know what it was about Cass that I just love alpha males a lot. Oh my god, when he was just being like mean and but at the same time like caring and wanting to protect her. It was such a good book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It was so suspenseful. I love the action in it. I cannot wait for book two because I just found out that there's going to be a book two, so I can't wait. Yvette, there is a book two. Yay! The next couple books that I mentioned, I want to thank Reading Galaxy for recommending them to me. I love them. Please recommend more books to me. I love it. I will read them. You have great taste. Thanks. So the next book that I read was Fallen Too Far by Abby Glynis. This is book one in the Too Far series. This story follows Blair Wynne and Rush Finley. This book was so good. Like, it had me falling in love with the book and with the relationship and how things were going, and then it just broke my heart. I wasn't upset about it. Like, I wasn't upset that it broke my heart. Which is a surprise. Usually when a book breaks my heart, I'm so mad at it, I want to throw it. This one, I was just so eager to pick up book two. So I went ahead and picked up book two, which is Never Too Far, of course, by Abby Glynis. And this one, it picks up near where the last one ended, and I loved it. I can't wait for book three that comes out, I think, in August, and I just want to know what's going to happen. I know that there's more bumps in the road to come, especially with a surprise that we find out in book two. Of course, I don't want to give too much away on it because I want you guys to read it and enjoy it as much as I did, so I don't want to tell you what it's about. but it was such a good book. And of course, these two books, I did give it a 5 out of 5 stars. So the next book that I read was 10 Tiny Breaths by Kay Tucker. And this follows Casey Cleary and her sister Livy. The story was very emotional. It wasn't what I expected. At one point I kind of guessed some of it. The love interest in the story is Trent Emerson, and I loved how he tried to do everything in his power to make her smile. I didn't guess some of the things that were going to happen, like that big twist. At one point I thought maybe, but then I was like, no, like I discounted it. And then when it turned out it was true, I was like, oh my God. But I really, really enjoyed it. I did give it a 5 out of 5 stars. Okay, guys, two more books and we're done with this wrap up. The next books that I went ahead and read were Beautiful Bastard and Beautiful Stranger by Christina Lauren. So it's two writers, if I'm not mistaken, and I do want to thank Reading Galaxy for recommending me to read these books. With Beautiful Bastard, it follows Bennett Ryan. I like that name. I don't know what it is. Bennett Ryan. But yeah, Bennett Ryan and Chloe Mills. Yes, Chloe Mills. It follows their story. She's basically in college getting her MBA in business, and Bennett is just a hard ass. Like, plain and simple, he's just a hard ass. And I think a lot of it is he's a little anal in the way that he works. Like, he's very, very driven. Very, very driven. He's very organized, so I get where he comes from. But at the same time, I think the reason why he's so kind of anal retentive with her is because he is trying to fight his feelings. Like, he knows that it's not right to be in love or to have feelings, not so much love, but less for a coworker, especially someone that works beneath him, someone that is his kind of like his assistant. So I like how he grew. I like how he let her in. I liked how he realized his feelings. I love that this book went back and forth. Like, I knew what Chloe was thinking and I knew what Bennett was thinking. So I truly love that. I do thank the authors for doing that for me. They probably didn't do for me in specific, but I truly enjoyed it. I did go ahead and give Beautiful Bastard 4 stars, 4 out of 5. The next book in the series, of course, is Beautiful Stranger. And Beautiful Stranger follows Sarah Dillon, who is Chloe Mills' best friend. She also knows Bennett Ryan. She worked for Bennett's brother. She was his assistant secretary, something like that. And her love interest is Max Stella. Yeah, and he's British, and he is known as a heartbreaker. Like, a lot of paparazzi like to chase him around and stuff like that. And, he's kind of like the it boy of New York. And Sarah has just gotten out of a very bad relationship where in the entirety of her relationship, she was just being cheated on and stuff like that. So this one is Sarah breaking out of her shell, of her experiencing a lot of things that she did not get to experience when she was in her last relationship. So with Max, he helps her grow, he helps her evolve. I like this story too. It goes back and forth between Sarah and Max, so I get to know what both of them are thinking. I enjoyed some of their outings. It was a good read. I did give it 4 out of 5 stars as well, and I can't wait for the third book in the series. I also can't wait for the little novellas that are in between. So yeah. So that's it, guys. That is my April wrap up. Those are my 17 books that I went ahead and read this month. Well, not this month, for the month of April. I try to make it as sweet and simple as possible because I can go on forever talking about these books. I did not want to do that. I will, of course, leave links down below for all of the books that I read so that you guys can read more of the synopsis, so you guys can go ahead and if you guys want to read it or add it to your TBR list, I'm going to go ahead and link it down below for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And guess what? Look, I'm a brunette now. I just realized when I looked in the camera, like when I saw myself, that I'm not blonde anymore. Anyways, you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.